feel like sometimes I just question myself too much because the world around me is like causing me to like adapt to different situations and to like look at other people's situation and be like, doesn't really match up. But then you have to realize that like you're two different people and you have two different situations. So I think that this has helped me like a lot to kind of realize, like look inside myself and be like,
what do you want the people at John Champion, the community in Loudoun County, Virginia, fans period, to know about your time there and what you want them to remember about Mya Townes?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, John Champion's always been home to me. From my freshman year, I got to play with my big sister, and after she left, I knew that I had to kind of continue the Townes legacy within the school, and so that's exactly what I did. And then this year meant everything to me because knowing that it was my last year and that I wasn't going to be able to be with my team next year, I knew I had to put my all out there, and it kind of sucked at the beginning because since I did have my hamstring injuries and I was out for most of the season, I knew that as soon as I got back, I had to put my all into it, and that's exactly what I did. I scored 14 goals in 13 games and just kind of tried to put everything I had into the game.
You heard what she said.
And it's been such an incredible journey just to get here. I've been lucky enough not to have two terrible injuries, but there have been like a couple of knocks, little bumps and bruises, and it's just the love of the game just brings me back every single time. I have to fight through it, and that's why I've gotten to where I am today. And just know that like when you're playing, if you're not uncomfortable, make yourself uncomfortable. You have to get uncomfortable to progress, and if you're comfortable all the time, you're going to stay exactly where you are. So that was the biggest thing for me, is that I had to really push myself outside of my comfort zone. I had to make sure that I got the best training. I had to make sure I was playing with the best people, not just playing with my friends. And so getting into like national team levels and things like that has been an incredible journey. And they always tell you, a lot of people think their journey is like this, just a straight line right across, no bumps, no bruises, no valleys, no hills, but it's completely the opposite. If you don't have any of those valleys, if you don't have any of those hills, you'll never really learn to love the game as much as you do. So I think that you should embrace the hard times, celebrate the good times.
Doing it without having to think about it, it becomes part of your day-to-day.
Yeah, 100%. I think that like even in my day-to-day, I set goals for myself. I'll be like, I'll finish this many assignments on my work today, or I'll clean my room today and make sure like it's all nice for when my family comes or anything like that. So I like set those goals day in and day out. I make sure to follow through. Goals are meant to be set and scored. So biggest thing that we've always talked about.
We're doing some jumps, some plyos, making sure Coach Paul's showing me how I need to do it properly so I can get the best out of it. It's just a 10-yard sprint with the chain on my back. So then as soon as I take the chain off, I'm much faster.
That one does not miss. Mya Townes.
Hey guys, Mya Townes here, St. James athlete, current US Youth National Team player, and future Georgia Bulldog. I just want to let you guys know how excited I am about my new partnership with the St. James, and to kick that off, I want to invite you to my clinic on May 11th. We're going to have a lot of cool giveaways, you're going to learn some new tricks, and maybe even hear a bit about me and my journey as an athlete. Can't wait to see you guys all there at the St. James in Springfield.
high-profile athlete. I mean, you have NIL opportunities and branding and social media and all this stuff. How do you handle all that stuff?
It's definitely an adjustment. I think this year was a really, really big year for me. It was my first year really getting my brand out there, creating my brand, and starting to see what that could do for me, see who was paying attention. And so I think I have to take everything with a grain of salt. It comes with the good and the bad, but just really talking to my family, talking to my manager, just having those conversations and really in-depth conversations about those types of things has really helped me to kind of be grounded about it and keep a level head.
Robert told me your alter ego is Captain Mya.
Yes.
Who is Captain Mya?
Captain Mya is who I am on the field. You know, off the field, I get to be Mya, the cheery, like, oh, I'm gonna be your best friend and we're gonna go here, do this. But then on the field, I'm Captain Mya. It's all game time. You know, goals are meant to be set and scored, as we say all the time. And so I think as soon as I step on the field, it is time to strike. That's exactly what Captain Mya does. She strikes, she helps her team, she pushes her opponents, she pushes the people she's playing with on the field, she pushes her coaches to be the best versions of themselves. And I think that that's something that I really didn't get to separate from my personal self. It's something I didn't get to separate from Mya Townes. So being able to create Captain Mya is kind of like being able to step into my own self once I do step on the field, and then when I step off, I can take the armor off and kind of just be myself.
How comfortable are you being a leader?
Very comfortable. You know, I like to lead by example. Sometimes I might be in the background a little bit, but that doesn't mean that I'm not leading. It just means that I'm kind of being a little quieter to see kind of what my leadership has done for other people. Has it made them step up a little bit? Has it helped them to kind of be a little bit more confident? And so I think that it's also given me some confidence that people do trust me enough to lead them in a certain direction.
And, you know, as women's sports continue to grow and get more visibility, how excited would you be, or how much would you be looking forward to being a role model for little girls, the type of athlete that little girls want their pictures with or want autographs with?
That's also a huge goal of mine. I mean, to have somebody, I've always looked up to Kristen Press. She's been my role model since I was a little girl. And so for me to be able to have the opportunity to be a Kristen Press to these other little girls and to show them that, like, it really is possible. You can come from wherever, you can do whatever, you can start as a different sport, but it's all okay in the end if you really get to where you want to go. And I want people to know that and be able to look up to me and see that on the big stage.
Sports continue to grow. Advertisers are always looking for that next face of a sport, the next role model for little girls. How do you think she fills that role, whether now or down the road, as a role model for young girls?
Absolutely. Her name is Captain Mya for a reason. All the traits that she just shows and attributes of her personality, of commitment and attention to detail and excellence, and basically being the best version of herself at the same time, recognizing that she's not perfect and she's going to continue to grow and she's going to make mistakes and she's going to embrace those things. That's really, from a female sports perspective, or from girls in general, it's something that we as men can learn from, that at the end of the day, she doesn't need 100,000 people to validate on social media to know how great she is. The reality is her social media, her brand reflects how great she is. And so it's like looking in the mirror. Her social media tells you all you need to know about who she is, where she's at, and where she wants to be.